Alright, so in this video I'll be showing you how to install mods for Cyberpunk 2077. That includes both REDmods and Legacy. We'll also be going over how to install REDmod itself, as well as ensuring it's actually working as intended. So let's begin with installing REDmod itself, which can be found as a free DLC on Steam, GOG, and Epic. The links to each, as well as everything else mentioned in this video, will be linked in the description below. Now, I'll personally be using Steam in this video, but the process is very similar across the board, so you can still follow along if you happen to be on either of those platforms. We'll first need to head over to the Steam store page for REDmod, and all we need to do here is hit the blue Add to Library button, which will prompt you with a confirmation that it has been added to your account, in which you can just click OK. From here, we'll want to head over to our game library and find Cyberpunk 2077. Go ahead and select it and scroll down on the game page until you find the DLC section, where we'll want to click on Manage My DLC. This will open a new window where we can see the own DLC for the game and whether they're even enabled. We're only checking this to ensure that REDmod has actually been enabled, as Steam will occasionally not automatically enable DLC. So if it happens to not be checked off, be sure to enable it, and it will then automatically initiate the download process through Steam. We can now close out of this window and move on to creating the file structure required for REDmod to function properly. So head back to Cyberpunk in your game library, right-click, go to Manage, and select Browse Local Files. This will bring us to the game install directory, where we'll then want to go ahead and head into the R6 folder, and then into the cache folder. And now if you don't see a folder titled Modded, we need to create it. You can do so by right-clicking empty space in this folder, going to New, and selecting Folder. You'll then want to rename the folder to Modded. This will create the necessary path for REDmod to function correctly. From here, we can head back to the Cyberpunk 2077 directory, as we'll need this folder again in just a moment when we're installing our mods of choice. So now if we head on over to Nexus Mods, we'll be able to find the mods that I'm installing for demonstration in this video, but the same steps will apply across the board. The first mod we're going to be installing is R19 Accurate E3 2019 Visual Restoration by AG Sylph, which just so happens to be a REDmod. Most mods that feature a REDmod file will also feature a REDmod tag on the Nexus, so be sure to keep a lookout for that if you're wanting to know if a mod includes a REDmod file. Of course, we need to start with actually downloading the mod. So we can find the download by clicking on the Files tab and finding the main file that we're wanting to download. In this case, there are two, but I know that I'm wanting to download the REDmod version. Simply click on Manual Download, and it will then ask you where you want to save it to your PC. I'd suggest just choosing your Downloads folder and clicking Save. Once it has been downloaded, head to your Downloads folder where you should see the mod in a compressed .zip archive. All you need to do to open this is simply double click on it, and it will open the archive as if it's a normal folder. And within, we will see the mod files. In this case, there is a mods folder and an R6 folder. So now we're going to want to go ahead and reopen the Cyberpunk 2077 install directory from earlier, as this is where we'll be dropping our mod files. As you can see here, there are matching folders, that being the mods folder and the R6 folder, which lets you know that this is the correct location that you want to install the mod files. To do so, all we need to do is highlight the mod files, drag them over to empty space in the Cyberpunk 2077 folder, and ensure it says copy to Cyberpunk 2077 before dropping them in. This will then automatically merge the mod files into their correct directories. So just to show you that it's been installed correctly, if we open the mods folder, which is where REDmods are installed, we can see both the R3 2019 mod that we just installed, as well as a previously installed REDmod, that being Weapon Overhaul. You can always confirm if these are installed correctly by opening one of the mod folders and spotting an info.json file, which is a manifest file exclusive to REDmods. So this not only tells you that it's installed correctly, but also that it is indeed a REDmod, as you'll spot the info.json file in each and every REDmod you download. Now, what about a REDmod that doesn't have the same file structure already created for you? Well, that last bit of the video might have hinted you on how all this works, but just to demo, we're going to go ahead and check out a REDmod that doesn't have the mods folder file structure included, that being CSGO Op Sound Replacer by ControlSec. Just like last time, we'll want to head over to the Files tab and click Manual Download on the main file that we're wanting. Save it to your downloads just like last time, and when it is finished, open up your downloads folder, and here we can find our new mod, once again packaged in a .zip archive. Just double click on it, and this will open the mod files. But this time, something is a bit different, as the only folder seen here is CSGO Op Sound, so no matching folders to just drop into the Cyberpunk files. So if we go ahead and open this folder, we'll find a familiar file, that being the info.json. This lets us know that this entire CSGO OpSound folder belongs in the mods folder, which as stated before, is specifically for REDmods only. So go ahead and reopen the Cyberpunk 2077 install path from before, open the mods folder, and here we can see all the other installed REDmods. Just drag the folder for your downloaded mod over into the mods folder, ensuring it says copy to mods, and your new mod will now be installed. Now, we're not quite done on enabling REDmods, as we needed to actually install one first before we're able to enable them. So now that we have one installed, we can go ahead and go back to Steam and launch the game like normal, which will open Red Launcher. On here, we can click on the new gear icon next to the play button, which will give us an option to enable mods, which you'll want to go ahead and click to enable, ensuring it's now colored yellow. And just a quick note for GOG users, as your version does not have the Red Launcher, you'll want to go ahead and open the GOG client, go to Cyberpunk 2077, click on the settings button, go down to manage installation, and click on configure. This will open a new window where you'll want to click on the features tab, and from here you can scroll to the very bottom where you'll have the option to enable mods and to change the default launcher to the modded one. Once that has been done, you can click OK. And now, when you go to launch the game through the launcher, a window will pop up letting you know that it's initiating and deploying mods. This is a process that will only occur once after you've installed a new red mod, so the game will launch instantly moving forward unless you install a new mod. After the mods have been deployed, the game will launch. Now, what about legacy mods? That being any mod that doesn't use REDmod. Well, the process is actually very similar, but we'll run through it anyways. For demonstration, I'll be using Alternative Midair Movement by Demigod715, and just like previously, head over to the Files tab and click Manual Download on the main file you're wanting. If the mod has any additional requirements, you might also get a pop-up as seen on screen, and anything linked on this pop-up will be required for your mod to work as intended. So just keep that in mind. And with that said, we can now click Download again on this pop-up, which will prompt you to save the file to your PC. Just save it to your downloads folder, and once it is finished, open your downloads folder, and you should see your mod again in a compressed .zip archive. Just double click on it to view the mod files, and in my case, the mod I am installing only has a bin folder. Now, if we go ahead and reopen the Cyberpunk 2077 install directory from earlier, we can once again spot a matching folder here, that being the bin folder. So as we did previously, all you need to do is drag the matching files from your downloaded mod over to the game install, ensuring it says copy to Cyberpunk 2077 and drop the files. Again, this will merge the folders and place your mod files in the proper directories. So just to show you what I mean, if we now open the bin folder, go into x64, plugins, Cyber Engine tweaks, and then mods, we will find our freshly installed Alternative Midair Movement mod located here with its own folder, which contains all of its files. And that is how you install mods for Cyberpunk 2077. But I know there's going to be one common thing asked. Why not use a mod manager? Whether that be Vortex or Mod Organizer 2. Well, Mod Organizer 2 uses a virtual installation method for mods, which is incompatible with the vast majority of mods available for this game. Vortex, on the other hand, will work to some extent if you use the hard link deployment method, but some mods will still be entirely broken or not function as intended, which a lot of people have been running into when it comes to modding this game. You'll even find that a lot of mod pages for popular mods will warn against using Vortex or even state outright that it won't work. So my suggestion is to mod this game manually and just keep track of what you've been installing. That said, you are free to use Vortex if you really want to try it. Just be aware that if you run into any mod issues, it might be Vortex and not the mod itself. That said, I hope this video helped you out. If it did, please consider leaving a like and comment to let me know. But of course, also if you're having any issues, and I'll try my best to help you out. Now, if you'd like to dive into more mods for Cyberpunk and beyond, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, as we'll be covering a lot of them in the near future. And if you'd like to get started with the 5 mods that overhaul Cyberpunk 2077, you can find that video on screen. But that's it for this video. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, this is Apoqsi, signing off.